The line is open. Maybe it's 2:13 in the morning where you are. You are staring at the ceiling, replaying the same business decision for the 47th time. Should you raise the price? Should you send that email, fire that client, launch that offer, burn the whole thing down, and become a goat farmer? Maybe you've already asked ChatGPT 5 times, watched 3 YouTube videos, opened 17 tabs, and somehow you are even more confused than you started. So instead of doing business therapy with yourself at 2 a.m., bring the question here. This is the After Hours Business Hotline on the Kingdom Business Revolution podcast. And I'm your host, Kristin Duranci. And this is where real kingdom business owners bring the questions that are keeping them awake, and we get underneath the question and find the decision hiding inside of it and uncover one clear move you can make next. A kingdom business breakthrough may be waiting on the other side. The line is open.
Hello, the line is open. Your kingdom business breakthrough's waiting on the other side. The After Hours line is open just for you.
If you want to submit your question, either anonymously, have me answer it on this podcast, or apply to come on live with me, text the word breakthrough to 231-444-2451, and I'll send you the link to get your question on the line. All right, I am so thrilled to be here. I am opening up the After Hours Business Hotline with a question that I know a lot of you are going to resonate with. When she submitted this question, I was like, oh, this is the first question that I'm going to be talking about. So here is the first anonymous business confession. I feel like I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to be doing. Posting content, trying to grow my email list, talk about my offer, but it still isn't turning into consistent sales. I also know I need to put myself out there more, but I'm not sure where to focus or what I'm missing. How do I actually get people to notice me, trust me, and eventually buy from me? Well, anonymous confession number 1, that is a great question. And I feel and know what you're describing is something I call the coach's Catch-22 or the coach's conundrum. Now lean in. This is going to be a breakthrough for a lot of you, I'm sure. Every Kingdom woman entrepreneur, coach, service provider, online business owner wants sales, right? Yes, we do. We want sales and impact. But we cannot have sales without an audience. You cannot build an audience without authority. And it is difficult to establish authority. Here's the Catch-22, the coach's conundrum. It's difficult to establish authority without clients, past social proof, sales, past testimonials, and results that prove your work works. So the coach, the service provider, the Kingdom Women entrepreneur, we get trapped in a cycle. And we think, I need clients to establish authority. I need authority to build an audience. I need an audience to make sales. But I need sales to get the clients and results that establish my authority. Oh, wow, that was a mouthful. That is the coach's Catch-22. And because we don't recognize this, we don't know how to break that cycle. And then we fall into what she was describing. I'm doing all of the things. We fall into productive procrastination. We think we're doing the things we need to do, like creating another lead magnet because that other one didn't work, posting more content, rebuilding our website, rewriting our offer because that one didn't convert, taking another certification, starting a podcast, writing a book, looking for speaking opportunities, reworking our message again. All of those activities can feel productive, but none of them necessarily solves the complete problem. So now we know we need authority so people recognize that we are credible. And I'm not talking about the authority from your Heavenly Father. If you are called as a kingdom woman to the online business space, He has given you authority. And inside the leadership room, my paid tier of the Kingdom Lens Substack, I go into different types of authority. But I'm talking about the authority that helps you attract and build an audience of people who believe in your message, know that you can help them, and want the transformation you provide. That audience creates the relationship and trust necessary to generate those sales that you're looking for so that you can stop doing all of the things. And most people treat these as 3 separate strategies. These are not 3 separate strategies. It is one connected business ecosystem. Authority produces an audience. Audience leads to sales conversations and conversions, which lead to client results, which leads to greater authority. So it's one connected business ecosystem. The problem is not simply that we need more followers or more content or more visibility. The problem is we need a strategy. You need a strategy, anonymous confession number 1, that helps you build your authority and grow the right audience and create sales at the same time. And this is exactly what we solve together and do inside the Business by God's Design Advisory. We step back, identify which part of your authority to audience to sales pathway is breaking down, and then we build the connected strategy your business needs, rather than giving you another isolated tactic to add to the pile. So for those of you listening, the Business by God's Design Advisory is application only. It is my high touch container. If you are interested in getting inside the advisory, I have a few spots open this next quarter. I will link up the application form in the show notes. The problem is not simply that we need more followers, you need more content or more visibility. You need a strategy that helps you build authority, grow the right audience, and create sales at the same time. And what I love to teach people, and I teach inside the Business by God's Design Advisory, is collaborations and leveraging other people's audiences. Kingdom collaborations are the fastest, most effective way to grow your authority in the online space. And remember that authority leads to finding your perfect fit clients and the momentum that you need in order to bring into your offer to create the sales that you're looking for. In these strategic collaborations, interviews, summits, guest teaching, aligned partnerships, you can build authority through association, add value to other people's audiences, and that borrowed trust from established leaders through authority osmosis goes on to you. And you are now seen as that perceived expert in your area, in your niche, and that authority. It also allows you to reach new audiences and demonstrate your area of expertise. So borrowed trust is stronger than borrowed reach, okay? Collaborations are not simply about getting in front of more people. It's about being strategic and getting introduced to those people by someone that they already trust. I mean, we do this every single day anyways. If there's a new restaurant in town and you know that your friend went there, you're going to message your friend and say, hey, how is that new restaurant? And you're going to trust her opinion. The same thing works with collaborations when you want to grow your authority. So the next action item you can take after listening to this today is to go find someone who serves your same ideal client but solves a different problem for them. You do not need to find a huge creator or a 6 or 7 figure business owner. Look for someone with an aligned audience, active engagement, and complementary offer. I highly recommend going to do this on Substack because then you can leverage the Substack tools and you can actually do an interview or an article swap. I love how Substack makes it so easy. If you're not on Substack, then definitely go take a look at Facebook groups and other communities that you are in. For example, if you help women build their business strategy, you could collaborate with someone who helps them with faith and identity, or copywriting and messaging, or bookkeeping and finances. So your next steps are define who you want to reach. Write one sentence. I help that specific person achieve that specific result. Then ask who else serves this person before, after, or alongside the work that I do. This is your complementary collaborative partner. Make a list of 20 potential partners. You can search Substack recommendation and notes, podcast your ideal client listens to, Facebook groups and communities. You should not only look at the follower count, you should also look at audience alignment, similar values, a distinct but complementary area of expertise. And before sending a cold pitch or a cold request, either subscribe to their publication on Substack, subscribe to their email list, read and respond to a few of their posts, restack or share something genuinely useful if they're on Substack. Make sure that you are commenting and leaving thoughtful comments on their posts on social media or on Substack, and mention a specific idea from their work that you are interested in. The goal is not to manufacture a relationship, it's to make sure the collaboration actually makes sense and that you're establishing that relationship before you do a pitch. And then one last tip before we hop to the next question. Don't send, "Would you like to collaborate with me sometime?" Give them something specific and easy to evaluate, all right? Make sure that you are asking for what you want, but also you're giving them something in return. So let me give you a really quick example. Maybe you're a health coach who helps moms of young children support their families naturally and heal common health concerns holistically. So step one, you're going to identify complementary partners. You're looking for someone that serves the same mom, but from a different part of her problem. Good complementary partners might include a non-toxic home educator, a sleep consultant for babies and toddlers, or a Christian motherhood or family wellness Substack writer, or a nervous system or stress regulation coach for moms. All right, you don't need to find another holistic coach. You want to find someone who's in that same arena, who's already asking questions about their child's health, home, routines, food, sleep, and overall being. And then two, choose one specific collaboration. Maybe you want to do a free resource swap together, or maybe you want to do an interview series. An example of the interview series might be why your child's sleep struggles may not be just a sleep problem. And the one expert could discuss the connection between nutrition, digestion, environment, and sleep. And then she would interview you and you would bring the expertise around what may be happening inside the body or the environment. They serve the same mom, but they're not competing. You can also approach her and ask to do a free resource swap. Say, "I'd love to add value to your audience. I have a holistic home health checklist, 10 areas to look at when your child keeps struggling." And then you could ask if she has a resource that you could share with your audience as well. You want to make these a win-win for all involved. All right, as we're wrapping up this question, I do want to say that there are different ways to establish your authority in the online space. But what I have found with myself and my clients is that kingdom collaborations, connections, and leveraging other people's audiences are the most effective way to grow your authority, increase your email list, and make those sales, because we all get trapped in that coach's Catch-22 where we want sales, but we can't have sales without the people. And we don't have the people without an established authority in the online space. Collaborations make it the fastest way to get out of this coach's Catch-22. Before we move on to our last question, I want to remind you that if you have a question that's keeping you up at night or you're not quite sure what that next step is, submit it to the After Hours Business Hotline so you can get your 6-figure breakthrough. You can text breakthrough to 231-444-2451. We have another anonymous question. She helps businesses build interactive online learning experiences and automate repetitive tasks to streamline their operations. She also states there's slow seasons in her business and they're not a surprise. She's been in the business consulting for over a decade with some affiliate income and have an online presence. She would love to go beyond a solopreneur consultant business or serving clients and have more consistency. What I hear is that you're not afraid of work. You have been resourceful. You've stayed open to provision in different forms, and you've kept moving even in the slower seasons. So congratulations. But I also hear that you don't want to build a business that is permanently dependent on those side gigs that you mentioned, random projects, or you personally doing everything for every client. You want consistency and you want to grow beyond being a solo consultant. And what I feel and know is that the first step is getting much more specific about what you actually help people do. When I read that in one sentence, what do you sell and who do you serve? When you said, I help businesses build interactive online learning experiences and automate repetitive tasks to streamline their operations, that's really broad. It tells us what you can do, but it doesn't yet tell a potential client who this is for, what problem are they experiencing, what do you help them build, and what result do they get. So, for example, businesses could mean a 5-person coaching company or a nonprofit or a corporate training department. It could mean a company onboarding hundreds of employees. Those are very different clients with different problems, different budgets, different buying decisions, and different messaging. And the same is true for the interactive online learning experience part. When you said that, my mind automatically went to video games and interactive learning, online learning for my toddler. Okay. So that could mean a lot of things. It could mean employee onboarding, customer education, certification programs, internal training for brick and mortar companies, digital courses, professional development, or interactive online learning experiences for my 5-year-old. And then once again, automation could almost mean anything. So I would encourage you to begin looking backward before trying to create something new. Look at the clients and projects you have had in the past and you enjoyed the most. Ask yourself, what clients got the strongest results? What type of work do people already come to me for? Which projects were profitable and repeatable? What problems do I understand better than most people? And which type of client do I generally want to serve again? Who did you really enjoy working with? Because you're deep down, I help this person do this thing, that niche that the world talks about, like we need to niche down that I help statement so we can actually understand who you help and how. That may already be hiding inside your past work. And you may discover that your clearest message is something like, I help growing service-based businesses turn their knowledge into structured client training and onboarding programs. Then automate the delivery so the owner is not repeating the same work every week. I have had lots of clients who have said that when the onboarding process comes or when they bring people in, they meet with them for 5 minutes to walk through the onboarding process. And I was like, are you kidding me? You meet with them to show them the back end of how to walk through things? No, that needs to be automated, right? Or maybe your I help organizations modernize employee training by turning manual presentations and documents into engaging online learning systems. In those organizations, I could say we'd even want to get more specific about. You could help brick and mortar organizations modernize their employee training system by turning the onboarding process or even any type of manual presentations that they do into engaging on learning systems. So those are only examples to help you get more specific on who you help and how you help them. The right answer needs to come from the work that you've already done and you actually enjoyed working with those people. Then I would simplify the offer. Instead of selling a wide range of these services, create one clear starting point around one expensive recurring problem. When you can pinpoint that one expensive recurring problem that your ideal client has, that is where they're going to pay to make sure that this expensive recurring problem doesn't continue to happen. That might be a training system audit, an onboarding automation package, maybe even a course experience redesign, or learning a new platform setup and implementation. The goal is to make it easy for someone to understand what they're buying and what changes after working with you. Okay, that's where we simplify and get really specific first. I also have another suggestion, and it involves Substack, but for a moment, for the next 30 days, I'd focus on 3 things. Interview 5 past ideal clients. Ask what was happening before they hired someone like you, what it was costing them, time, money, freedom, frustration, what they tried first, and what outcome mattered most. Second, choose one audience, one problem, and one primary offer to test. You're not choosing this forever. You're choosing a clear direction long enough to start to gather evidence. Third, begin having direct conversations with people who fit that audience. and who have that problem. Don't lead with every service you offer. Lead with that specific, expensive, recurring problem that you solve. All right. And then I know that you are on Substack. So what I'm going to say is that should not be another place where you give away broad information. It should be about you testing this positioning, creating recurring revenue, and leading the right people into your consulting offer. Okay. I would encourage you to look at Substack differently if you haven't been. If you have not monetized those paid tiers on Substack, you're going to want to do that. Once, get really clear on your positioning and what you want to do and who you serve, and then create those paid tiers as a trust pathway into your deeper work. You mentioned wanting more consistency, a business that can grow beyond one-to-one consulting. Your Substack can become a part of that plan, but only if you give it a clear job. So it shouldn't be another platform where you publish helpful information and hope people eventually ask to hire you. It can become the front end of your business. The Trust Pathway offer where people discover your area of expertise, build trust with you, and pay you first for a specific level of support, and then move you into a deeper offer when they are ready. Okay? And that trust pathway gets to be very simple. And that's work that we do inside the Substack Authority and Monetization Intensive. If you are interested in that, it is $297, and we sit together fill out an intake form. It's really in depth, and we meet for about 60 to 90 minutes, and we position your Substack based on what it is that you're here to do, and create it as a trust pathway into your mid and high ticket offers. And for anyone else listening, if that's something that you want to do, grab that Substack Authority and Monetization Intensive. We will position your Substack and create what your paid tiers should look like so you can start to create consecutive revenue and monetize Substack as the front end of your business, and then lead people into your mid and high ticket offers. If that's something you're interested in, you can shoot me a DM over on Substack or email me letting me know that you want to snag a Substack Authority and Monetization Intensive for only $297. I'll put the link in the show notes as well. And for you, my anonymous friend, that pathway could be really simple. A stranger discovers your work, they become a free subscriber, then they upgrade to your paid tier for deeper support and maybe a live experience and proximity to you once a month. Then the people who need more implementation move into an audit, a consultation package, an intensive, or a larger project with you that gives your Substack monetization purpose instead of treating it like a separate content project. But before deciding what belongs in that paid tier, you still need to clarify who it's for. This was your breakthrough. You do not need to abandon your experience, start over, or work harder at being everything to everyone. Your next level is clarity. Get specific about who you help. Get specific about the repetitive problem you solve. Create one clear, repeatable offer around that problem. Then use your Substack to lead people from free content into a paid live experience, and from there into deeper consulting support. You already have the area of expertise. Now the work is to package it up so the right person can immediately understand, this is for me. She solves the exact problem I have. This is how you begin moving from inconsistent solo consulting into more focused, scalable, and sustainable business. This was your breakthrough, not more hustle, but more specificity, a clearer offer, and a simple path for people to work with you. All right, my amazing friends, thank you for tuning in to the After Hours Business Hotline. The line is closed for tonight. Go make the move you can finally sleep on.
Hello.